Welcome to Which is Best, presented by Code 3 Games. Today's episode, the PC race of Kobold. Which is better, the Legacy version or the version in Monsters of the Multiverse? DM Aaron here with Sam and Manny. Today, we're going to talk about the PC race of Kobold. This time, Sam's got it. Sam, take it away.
Of course. So, starting with just lore outright, in the Monsters of the Multiverse, or MOM version, there's only about 2 paragraphs really summarizing what the Kobold is and giving you a good feel of what the race has to offer for a player. In the Legacy version of Volos, you have a whopping 35 paragraphs of just breaking down mannerisms, behaviors, just everything. And so, of course, more lore better helps you better situate your PC, especially with age and appropriate names. I give this to the Legacy version. Going forward, we go to ability score improvements, or ASIs. This one is definitely going towards the Monsters of the Multiverse, which is implementing the newer lineage system that's been getting introduced in more recent books. Lineage system being a +2 or +1 to any ability score of your choice, or a +1 to 3 ability scores of your choice. So this versatility and better increases definitely trumps the Legacy version, which only gave you a bump to Dex by 2. So definitely gets you more increases and more of versatility to really shape your Kobold to whatever class you want to play. The next 3 types and the 4th type, being creature type, size, speed, and languages, are basically the same. Nothing has changed there. I will say languages has a little bit of a tweak in the sense that you still get 2 languages with the Kobold. However, the Monsters of the Multiverse version gives you a common and a choice of what language you want to pick. So it's kind of, once again, more versatility. It's something they've been adding in with the lineage system with ASIs. And this one barely nudges out just because you get to choose whatever language you want to take that's appropriate to your backstory and character that you and your DM discuss, versus the common and draconic that you're kind of set into with the Legacy version. Most likely you're choosing draconic anyway, but it's still nice to have that choice. Next, we're going to be going into features. Starting with Dark Vision, same across, 60 feet for both Legacy and MOM. The next one is basically the same feature ability, but it got some changes, so I'm going to be talking about those together. For MOM, it's called Draconic Cry, and for Legacy, it is called Grovel, Cower, and Beg, which I personally really love. Basically, both are features allow the player to affect all creatures within a 10-foot radius of them, with some distraction of, in the Legacy, a grovel and cowering for their life, and the MOM, a proud draconic cry, to grant advantage to all your allies for that turn, which is a very big ability to have as a feature for a race. However, even though I love the Grovel, Cower, and Bag and just the role-playing stipulations of it, this version, which takes an action to use and you cannot benefit from this advantage yourself, is widely trumped by the MOM version, which is a bonus action. You can still take the rest of your turn to do something, so you can actually benefit from this Draconic Cry and get that advantage yourself. And what I did not mention is you can use it a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus versus once per short or long rest. So over time, especially with a high level campaign, you'll be able to whip this out 5 times a rest. I believe it is long rest also, but still, you'll be able to get this at least a minimum of 2 starting at level 1 and then go up to 5 uses per rest. And this can really be a game changer for multiple units. So even though I love the flavor of Grovel, Cower, and Beg, I'm definitely giving this to Draconic Cry. The next 2 features are for the Legacy version alone. These were taken out. You have Pack Tactics, which was advantage when other allies are within, and actually they took away a detriment, which is a big plus, which was Sunlight Sensitivity. That's a really big debuff. You don't really think it might affect too much, but it really can hinder down and really break down the player race, and it's a big detriment for any type of visual based anything in the game. And those 2 were taken out, and instead you were given an ability called Kobold Legacy, which I think was very, very interesting, cool. Basically, giving the players three options to choose, what to choose one of course, to basically more make your kobold more fit your backstory, I want to say, because it gives you an ability to have innate spell casting or extra skill proficiencies, or I believe it was negating the frightened ability or being like the brave feature from the halfling. And I don't know, just being able to like pick from that list and pick one of those three to get just makes more versatility to make sure your kobold now is going to be different than what other kobolds that people build, and build it better towards what your kobold's class is and what their backstory is. So I love that versatility. So in the end, I definitely go with heavily to Monsters of the Multiverse, because it has such a wide variety of versatility as well as taking away some detrimental abilities. And that Kobold Legacy is just a really cool feature that adds kind of unofficial sub-race features for the race itself to make them more specific to your needs and to what you want your character to be.
All right, Manny, thoughts?
I'm definitely going to side with Monsters of the Multiverse on this one, only because you're totally right on what you were saying, Sam. You can really customize the kobold on your playstyle with those three different options, so I think it makes it a more fun character to play as.
And this isn't the only race that does this either. Like, as we go through with this, you'll see that a lot of these races have picked up a similar context as well, where you can actually now customize them a little bit more with these extra features you can either choose or not choose. So, but we'll get to those later.
And I think it's interesting. I like the Monsters of the Multiverse one better as well for those same reasons. I do find it interesting looking. Pack Tactics is generally looked on as a monster ability, and so they took that away. I mean, Kobold obviously started as a monster. That's probably where they were thinking, but getting rid of that makes it more in line with the rest of the PCs. I'd be interested to see if they've done anything to the Drow, because I'm pretty sure the Drow had sunlight sensitivity too, but you know, that also a monster type detriment that a lot of underground creatures have. So once we get to these creatures that are generally from the underground, it'll be interesting to see if this entire ability is going away and only going to monsters or something. But I agree. So let's do our vote. We have Monsters of the Multiverse Legacy version. Vote in 3, 2, 1. All right, 3 for Monsters of the Multiverse. We'll see you on the next episode. Thanks for watching.
Competition.